Welcome to Dead End Friends FM. We are coming to you live from a creek at the end of somebody's street. I'm interrupting everybody's night in the outdoors. Down. Hello. I have just spilt my beer. I have Achu.
Oh, this is a train wreck already. Oh my god. We are literally, 30 seconds in. Is it even 30 seconds? Yep, just gone 30 seconds. Craig's already ruined the entire night. Cool. This is what happens when you go rogue. Why would you even think about it?
I am currently at a creek at the end of my street. There is I don't even know what the name of this bed of water is, but there is a creek at the end of the street. It is real cute. Come for a walk down here every so often, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to record out here today because I didn't want to be indoors anymore because I'm fucking sick of the four walls that I live in. So I decided I'm going to enjoy some nature. Like, if we're really quiet, we might actually hear the water. That's real nice.
Oh damn. I mean, I can hear the water. I can hear the birds.
Nice out here. There's some people playing cricket or some shit over the water. I also can't see anything because I'm currently wearing sunglasses because it is sunny, but they are not prescription, so I can't see shit.
Wow, it's a lot to take in, really.
I'm having a great time. I can't believe I spilt my beer. It's all over my ass and everything. But you know what? That's just where we are in life now.
As long as it doesn't go over the laptop, we'll be okay.
Yeah, it's all good. It's my personal laptop, so if it gets destroyed, it's all good. It doesn't matter. Anyway.
End of the podcast. Hello.
Anyway, hello. Welcome to episode 15 of Dead End Friends podcast. This is going to be the motion sickness podcast because I am also on video call with Gary while we're doing this, and I am on my phone.
I feel so unwell already. Like, you've not stayed still the entire time. I might even just stop looking at you because it's hurting my head. I can't.
My name is the outdoorsman Craig Jimison, and with me as always is my main man
Gary. I'm gonna barf Gordon.
Is that just your slogan? Like anytime you're in a car, Gary, I'm gonna bath Gordon. Anytime I need to go in a car that's gonna move forwards, I'm gonna throw up. And now I'm just making it worse by putting you onto like the Smiler at Alton Towers and fucking flipping you upside down.
Yeah, please don't actually. But this is the thing, I love roller coasters. Could go on them all of the day long.
Yeah,
but
all of the day.
All of the day long.
Yeah.
But you put me in a car, put me in the back, whitey. Instant whitey.
Immediate. That's so
pretty much
insane.
I think it's like an anxiety thing. I think when I was younger I used to get really bad car sick. So now that I am almost 30, I still get into the car, like into the back of the car, and I'm like, I'm gonna fucking throw up. I actually gonna throw up so bad. It's
just
so
like
dumb.
An immediate reaction. That's pretty insane. But like, why do you think it's an anxiety thing? Do you think it's an anxiety that you think you have outgrown it, but you're anxious in case you haven't? Is that where the anxiety is?
Yeah. Like, I think my body's gone, you're over this now. You are grown. And then my body's like, you are not grown in the slightest. I'm going to throw up everywhere now. I also just realised I had the TV on really fucking loud in the background.
What are you watching? Are you watching the game?
Just the football, innit? Just the fucking
just
football.
Just the football, innit? I know after me talking last week, after me talking last episode and being like, I don't watch football, I think it's total bullshit, I think it's boring, and I've watched like every fucking game since then. Like, I even watched the fucking,
I hate it.
I watched the fucking North Macedonia and Ukraine or some shit. I'm just like, do I even know where these countries are?
I thought that was going to be a real throwaway game today, and then I missed every single goal that happened because I was at work. Because we had it on in the TV at work, and I just like kept turning round, and every time I turned round, something happened. I was like,
something happened. It was quite good, if I'm being honest. Like, 2 saved penalties, one of them obviously off the back of the save of the penalty still went in. It was actually, it was quite entertaining as a man who doesn't care for football.
Fun fact, the boy that scored for Macedonia is now the youngest player to score for Macedonia in an international competition.
Oh.
The boy who scored before, who was the youngest, scored the other night when they played.
Right.
And he was 37 years old, and he was the youngest player to score in a competition for North Macedonia.
Wow. So how old was the young boy today? I mean, I say
younger than that.
Younger than 37.
I think he was like the youngest and the oldest, like, consecutively.
Oh man. But yeah, the football's still on. It'll be on for a long time. I don't even know when it's due to finish. They're still in the group stages. It's it's fun to have on while I'm trying to work. So I'll just
I think
have,
it's the
like, more
12th of July it finishes. Which
Was
is
that when the
even more
final's
of a-
supposed to be?
Yeah, I think it's even more of a reason to celebrate, because obviously 12th of July is the anniversary of the Battle of the Boyne. So the boys will be out getting to the good march with the big drums and the flute, singing the sash and that.
I imagine the only reason you actually know the date is because of the area you live in. If you had asked me that, if you had started that conversation by saying, Craig, what is the date of the Battle of the Boyne? Even if you had already said 12th of July is the final of the Euro Cup, I still would have said, I don't know, sometime in November.
Sometime in November. Yeah, Bridgeton's definitely good for it, but also, I think I would just know it. I think it's become one of those things that everyone just kind of knows. Because the march goes everywhere, right? Does the march come at the south side?
I have no idea. I don't think I've ever seen a march around here. Ever.
Well, I don't think I'll move there if it doesn't. I think I need to...
Too late, bro. You bought the fucking house.
I need to have some sectarianism, like seasoned sectarianism just comes around like once a year. Set my clock by it. It's my Christmas. It's the orange Christmas.
I mean, they used to all like kind of get set up and shit on the street where I used to work. Fucking, what is it called? Is it Broad Street in Bridgeton?
Yeah.
They all used to get like set up and ready.
Well, that's
to go.
where like the office of the Orange Order is.
The Orange Order.
Aye.
Is this about to go into like some like Star Wars lore? The Orange Order. I genuinely just thought it was a bunch of dudes with like drums.
Yeah. Well. Okay. Y'all gonna learn today. It's
Let's all just settle down, class. Everybody, put your pens away. It's time to just sit and listen.
The Orange Order is the name of the organisation, I guess, that upholds the celebration of the anniversary of the Battle of the Boyne, which was
right.
Oh God, like it happened fucking like 600 years ago or something. It wasn't that long ago. It was a while ago though. And the
Can I just say this is the worst fucking history lesson so far.
Bro, shut up. This is class.
Please keep going.
So the Battle of the Boyne was I've googled it. It happened. Oh no, hold on.
Right.
1690. Obviously, 1690. Obviously.
Why
because
is that obviously?
Because it is. Because it's just a thing that's always said when you're talking about like the Orange Order and the Battle of the Boyne and all that kind of stuff, and it's a thing that I've said out loud several times, and I was just like so blasé about it. But obviously, it's when the Battle of the Boyne was. So it's when King William of Orange, like fought against, is it King James? Like against.
I don't know.
Let me check my notes here.
Straight up, do not fucking know.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, King Billy fucking won. So now people nowadays feel like they still have to talk about that. That's the long and short of it.
Years ago.
Yeah, because I think it's a bullshit thing, but it's a thing that has gone on for such a long time that people have just been like, yes, every year we will do this thing. It's to do with like Ireland and like maybe killing Catholics and that. Like I'm not actually 100% sure. Like when I was younger, my mum would like the bands would come out like by my front, like outside the house, and we would like run out and we'd stand and watch them, and like they'd be fucking smashing the big bass drum and hitting the snare and getting it fucking Sash My Father War on the old flute. Yeah. And I wouldn't know any better. I was just sitting there watching it, and I grew up and I learned the words, and I was like, "Here, mother, why? Why did you let me and my sister just stand at the side of the road watching this hellfest go by?" She was like, "Oh, it's just music, isn't it?" And I was like, "Well, yes, but also absolutely not."
Definitely bred from a real thing. I mean,
it is
I think the
absolutely
person
insane.
that would be perfect for this conversation would be Matthew Blanchett. For whatever reason, he just has an extensive knowledge of this kind of shit. I mean, the dude is from like the middle of nowhere in Perthshire, but somehow knows so much about this shit.
Yeah, he does. He loves the Rebs, which is in my area, the Badgians, the enemy, the bad guys, you know. But for me, I am very indifferent. I honestly couldn't care less. It's hilarious to me that it is absolutely a thing that is like still spoken about and still like celebrated as if it is like a big thing that like everyone was like, yes, you know. I'm like, no, no. I'm sorry.
I have never understood it. I have never taken the time to understand what was going on. I saw it happen down my street when I lived in Eglinton Toll, and then I saw them getting ready outside my old work, but I never understood it. See, because I think my experience or my knowledge of it has all strictly come from somebody that is like so what's the word for it, like hardcore about it. This like so involved. I wouldn't even say they're involved, they're just like at every single one. But for this particular person, it all breeds from football. Yeah. Like it has all come from him being a fucking massive Rangers fan. So to me, the Orange Walk and all that stuff has always been directly linked to football. And when I found out it didn't come from that, I was confused as fuck.
Yeah, was like, which is understandable.
I thought it was just football fans walking down the street, playing songs and hitting instruments.
No, it's understandable. Like, it's football in Glasgow has unfortunately become a religious and political issue, other than just, you know, cunts kicking a ball. You know, like, which is what it is.
Grown-ass men hitting a ball.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's all it should be.
Yeah.
Continue, but it's no. I just wish I could understand that side of it, you know. Like, I remember like seeing people when I was younger, like watching the bands go by, and people were wearing like Rangers tops and stuff at it, and I was like, why is that a thing? And I found out it's because like predominantly Rangers fans are Protestant.
Yeah.
And like King Billy was like a Protestant king or something.
Right, okay.
It makes sense somewhere. Like, I just
some point in history it might have made some kind of sense. It doesn't anymore.
I also remember so like Rangers, like, so obviously like William of Orange, he was like a Dutch king.
Right.
I believe that's right. I maybe have made that part up. It sounds right in my head.
This is actually just the Google episode, just Gary Googling shit, and then I was waiting for him to give us the result.
No. He's Dutch as fuck, bro. It's fine. So, like, Rangers, who are my team, like, back in, like, the 2000s and somethings, they had, like, an all-orange top.
Yep.
With, like, a little bit of blue on it. I don't know if you remember that. It was, like, the NTL Home, like, sponsored one. My brother and, like, they got a lot of, like, like bad publicity for it, because obviously there's ties to the club and to like the Orange Order because of the religion and the fans that are involved, kind of thing, right?
Okay.
And they were like, "Oh, you're really leaning into that. Can't believe that they have done this kind of thing." The only reason I'm being reminded of this is because like the Netherlands are playing just now.
And
shirts. Yeah, and back then, Rangers actually had like a lot of Dutch players in their team, and the justification for it was, oh yeah, is to make our Dutch players feel more at home, which is amazing. I was like, shut up, man, not snow. Like
total fucking bullshit.
Yeah, this is purely about sales, which is fair enough. We
but be honest
respect the
about it.
hustle.
Yeah,
like be real honest. About
Yeah.
like, didn't be doing that.
That's wild,
It's
man.
honestly insane. I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm glad someone does.
I just love it because it's stupid, you know?
Right.
Like, these boys, like, every July get ready for marching season. And, like, marching season for them is, like, to celebrate the battle that happened 400 years ago.
Yeah. It's like all the crazy stuff that you see in, like, in America, where it's people flying the fucking... What's the flag? What's the mad flag? That's, like, supposedly super racist and stuff. The Confederate flag. And it's like, why do you still have that? That battle was so long ago, and you lost. Why do you have that?
Exactly. Like, that's why, like, people have been, like, I don't understand why people are still, like, flying that around and stuff, you know?
Just
My other favourite thing about, like, the whole, like, like, unionist and, like, Republican thing, and, like, why are they still allowing the celebrations of the 12th of July to continue, blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't understand it. You never hear of any Republicans doing it.
Right.
Do you know why?
No.
Because the Unionists won. Like, the Republicans didn't win. Can you imagine if the Unionists were having, like, a march to celebrate the fact they lost? That's the dumbest shit. Who thought that was a good argument? We have a celebration for every fight I've ever lost. Dumb. This is not me condoning it. I do believe that people should be able to celebrate, like, whatever they want to celebrate, and, like, you know, find the joy in anything.
Yeah.
But that's dumb as shit. Stop it. Like, you just do literally anything else.
It's just like, please keep doing the things that make you happy, but also stop doing those things because they're really fucking stupid.
Yeah, except that one. Like, everything else is cool. That one, no bueno, you know?
That is so insane. I've never understood the orange walk stuff. I don't think I ever will.
You don't have to.
I know.
It's
It's one of those things. It's just
Kronenberg, the beer that I'm drinking right now, is almost as old as the celebration of the Battle of the Boyne, you know? This is older. This was 1664. You know?
Yeah, and the can has never changed. That design has never changed. For the amount of time that I have seen Kronenberg in this life, that fucking can has stayed the same forever. I feel like they actually made all the cans in 1664 or whenever the fuck it was, and then they've just
we'll
been
change it when we get through
ever
these
since.
ones.
Oh Jesus! Right, let me drink another little bit of my beer. I need to keep putting Gary down every time I'm taking a drink of my beer, and I feel bad. I'm like leaning over it as if I'm like looking in a mouse trap just to make sure he's still there.
Sorry, I'm just here like barfing into a bag because you're making me feel sick.
Oh man, I actually did have something earlier on that I was like, had an idea in my head of what I was going to bring up, and I didn't fucking write it down.
Perfect.
And it's honestly the most garbage patter of all time. I feel like it was actually something we might have spoke about last week or last episode, because I fucking feel like we recorded like an hour ago the last episode. Because it
feels like we definitely are like pulling like double duty this week, but that's fine. I don't mind talking to you twice in 1 week.
Oh, thanks, mate. That's really
keeping
nice
up this facade that we're actually best friends.
It's like,
oh, your camera keeps going off. By the way, I love the outside stuff. This is great.
The camera keeps going off because I was looking at my notes to see if I had written it down, but I didn't.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Oh, it's come to me. I remember. Here we go. This little thing that I've got to bring up. This one that I've got to bring up is courtesy of a man who's already been mentioned on this podcast. Actually, this has turned into his show, but our dear friend Matthew Blanchett, he
AKA Blanket.
AKA Blanket. He messaged me earlier today with some like very shocking news that I wasn't aware of. and it fucking blew my mind. So, I send you this every so often being like, here, do you remember this band? Even though I asked you like a week ago. So I'm going to ask you again. Do you remember the band Black Tide?
Yes.
They sang the song Shockwave.
Yeah, they did.
Full fucking banger. Obviously.
The music video was like them playing in like an abandoned house that somehow had a half pipe in it.
Yeah, somehow. So, I was listening to one of their songs earlier today. Obviously Shockwave, because it rocks. It's a great song. So, and then I decided to share it onto an Instagram story. And then a couple hours later, I'm just going back on my Instagram, notice I have a message, and it's from our best friend Blanket. Open it up, expecting something completely insane, because let's be honest, it's from Blanket, so I knew it was going to go somewhere that I would enjoy very much. But I didn't expect it to go in the left turn that it did. So
I think I know where it's going to go, so keep going.
He messaged me and said, here, I'm about to ruin your day. I was like, okay. Right? I'm actually going to... I will pause for a second on the video, because I'm going to get the message up so I can get his wording just right. So, here,
I need to hear it exactly.
I'm away to ruin your day here. Me and Began from God Eater, a great fucking Glasgow band that everyone should listen to right now, we're like, I wonder what happened to Black Tide. Turns out, the main one is big on OnlyFans, and his Twitter is just is just pictures of him and his heavy big bobby.
Yeah, man, that boy has an absolute throbber. Oh, it is insane. Like, it's wild. What's even more wild is that, like, when, like, Black Tide and all that were an actual thing, he was, like, 14, 15, 16. He was so young. Like, he was an actual child.
Shit.
And now he's just getting his Throbsky out, you know? Like, it's insane. Like, fair play to the boy. Like, if I had a hog like that, I'd be showing everyone.
I need follow up with the following message. So I wrote back to Blanket and I said, not even close to ruining my day. I'm going to get my PayPal out for that OnlyFans. And
Nice.
Blanket's response is a total pavement dragger that he's wielding. It absolutely destroyed me.
Oh, dragon. Fucking Jeb N's just all calloused because it's just hitting off the concrete all the time. Jesus.
He's just walking about with a proper cauliflower looking cock. But like, fucking mad respect for that boy. Like, there's like, yeah, Black Tide were a thing when I was a kid. But like, I don't need it anymore. I got the biggest dick of all time.
Still making that paper. It's funny.
I haven't even looked it up yet. I really should. Just to get like... I mean, I want to see it, for sure. I want to see this fucking... Oh my god, man. That was
I just want to know what age he actually was when he started. Oh my god, they
we
started in
don't
like
know
2004. Oh my god.
He started the band in 2004.
Yeah. What's his name?
Right, so he wasn't underage sending pictures of his dick.
Oh, that's not him. I just clicked on his name, like that came up on Wikipedia when I started typing it in, and it's giving me a Colombian novelist from 1927. Perfect, thank you.
I mean, it could
Love
be the
that.
same guy. We don't fucking know.
Could be the same guy.
Could be time traveling.
Oh,
we never know.
Oh, there we go.
You found him?
Oh, it's just taking me straight back to the Black Tide page. That's like it was like hyperlinked and everything. That is so dumb.
Just Google his name and see what pops up. I bet it, like on Google Photos, it's not even a picture of his face; it's just a picture of his dick.
Gabriel Garcia.
Oh my god, that is gorgeous. He has a double G,
Yeah,
just like you, man. Double G.
It's still just showing me this fucking novelist. That's insane.
Nobody wants a novelist.
Oh no, we do. There's some great quotes. Here we go, my boy, Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Here we go. Quotes. I don't believe in God, but I'm afraid of him. Class. Nobody deserves your tears, but whoever deserves them will not make you cry. What matters in life is not what happens to you, but what you remember and how you remember it. What? The heart's memory eliminates the bad and magnifies the good.
I cannot believe that this conversation started with a dick joke, and now we're reading like philosophy.
Getting deep, bro.
Cannot even say the word.
We're
Cannot even say the word.
philosophizing. Let's
Oh my
do
god!
it.
I've only had fucking one beer. There's only one beer left.
It is not true that people stop pursuing dreams because they grow old. They grow old because they stop pursuing dreams. What? Did I read that so wrong?
He wrote it, and then wrote it backwards.
Oh yeah, that's what he did.
That's all that happened.
Damn, homie. This guy's so smart. I love that.
He's not. He's writing the
He
sentences
is.
and then writing them backwards. Anyone could do that.
A person doesn't die when he should, but when he can.
Oh my god, man.
This guy's my new favourite. If God hadn't rested on Sunday, he would have had time to finish the world.
That's the most weak ass shit.
This one's good. Everything that goes into my mouth seems to make me fat. Everything that seems to come out of my mouth embarrasses me.
I actually think we have just found the etching that'll need to go on Gary Gordon's tombstone.
Oh my god, this is actually incredible. I think I've only got like 2 more to go.
Oh,
yeah,
Jesus.
2 more to go. Life is not what one lived, but rather what one remembers and how it is remembered to tell the tale.
That one's quite hard for me to wrap my head around, actually. Can you give me that one again?
Life is not what one lived, but rather what one remembers and how it is remembered to tell the tale.
Shit.
Basically, life isn't what it is, it's how you tell the story.
No, but the way you said it is shit. The way he said
Well,
it was gorgeous.
Alright. The interpretation of our reality through patterns not our own serves only to make us ever more unknown, ever less free, ever more solitary.
You lost me. I think
This
about
guy
third
is
word there, I was
smoking
done.
so much crack. It is insane. Like, what are you saying? It does kind of blow my mind a little bit. Like, you know me. You know I like being a full-on pretentious wank.
Yeah.
And I can't help
Yep.
that. That's just
Yeah.
who I am. You know, I read some books.
It's endearing.
I like fucking. I like art.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy Wes Anderson films. You know, like.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm about, son, you know, like, but, like, sometimes I read, like, what these, like, classic authors have written, and I'm like, what are you saying? Like, what, like, why have you done that? Like, I don't understand, like, you know me, I absolutely love Leonard Cohen. I have a portrait of him on my wall. I have a portrait of him tattooed on my arm.
Yeah.
But he's got a book called Beautiful Losers, and I read it, and I was like, why? Why did you write this book? Like, what's the point? Like, it's about him or his pal or fucking something falling in love with the ghost of an old saint who was like 13 years old.
Oh, that's creepy.
He wrote in the 60s or something, so it sounds like...
So it's acceptable to be writing about falling in love with 13-year-olds in the 60s?
That dead 13-year-olds, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot... Man, the book is mad. Like, the book is him basically saying that he is as straight as it comes, but also just shagging his pal, like his best male friend.
Nice.
I'm like, how? Like, what are you saying? Like, obviously, it's a work of fiction because there's someone in this story falling in love with a dead ghost saint thing, you know? Yeah. But, like, why did you write this book? Like, what was going on in your head?
I mean, did he dabble in substances? I don't know anything about him.
Of course he did.
Of course he did. Just being that type of person.
He became a monk as well for a little while.
Oh, of course he did.
That's pretty cool. I don't know.
On you go, sorry.
I just don't get it. Like, it's why would they write stuff like this? Like, I know they think that they're being like deep and whatever, they're just writing stuff down. But I've written stuff down and I've gone back to the next day and gone, that's garbage. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why have I written this stupid thing? The guy wrote a book that was 300 pages long and made no sense. Like, at the end of it, I was like, why did I read that? Like, what is the actual point? Like, there was no like at the end of the story, there was no like well-rounded, thought-out conclusion that made me feel some sort of like uplifted message.
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, now
But
that everyone's dead.
His argument would be it's not up to him as a writer to do that in every book that he writes. He's not there. He's not there to write the story to have a well thought out conclusion, because it's just his substance-ailed mind. And he obviously was a fortunate enough person. I don't know anything about his life, and I'm saying fortunate enough person. But he was a fortunate enough person where he had a way of getting those things out and getting them on paper. Not everybody has that. Not everybody has that way where they can't actually like express what is going on in their head and get it out onto paper, where it might act to some form of therapy. Like, not like a lot of people can't even like talk about the shit that's going on in their head. Like, there's a lot of stuff that all of us are dealing with internally. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff that I would be very thankful if I could get it out, but it's like finding where it goes. And he obviously found that in writing just senseless rambles into a 300-page book, and that obviously gave him some form of satisfaction or closure
absolutely.
On
and like every little piece of art that is out there is all about, like, it's all subjective, you know, like, and you're supposed to draw from it what you think is what you like, you think he was trying to get across, or what it makes you feel. But I do sometimes just feel like sometimes it's left too open, you know, like, sometimes it's too open for interpretation, which isn't a bad thing. Like, it's not a bad thing at all to like just let someone make up their own mind. Like, I tried to do that for a long time with lyrics, you know, and it didn't really work out that way for me. There's a couple of times that we've done it and I thought that was cool. Like, the 3 songs that come off like the top of my head that I can think of is Final Scene, Monologue Part 2, and then Fever Pitch. Those 3 songs allowed the listener to make up their own mind. 2 of them were make up your own mind, but it was on the nose. Like, if you looked at it properly, you'd think, I know what he's trying to say. Like, obviously, like, Final C in my eyes, or like a brief like synopsis of what the lyrics were about, was about an actor living or playing the same part over and over again, and then it was getting to the end of his final like act, and he had a monologue, which is Monologue Part 2. The Monologue Part 2 was a suicide note. It was them. It was the actor saying, "I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry." Like, those 2 songs really, really link up well together, which is something that I'm real happy that I did, because I was really happy with how those 2 songs came out. Not when I recorded them, but like when, but like when I wrote those songs and like when we play them live, I'm happy with them, you know. And then Fever Pitch was, it was a song that was all based on repetition. You read the lyrics, there's not very many lyrics to it. It's basically just words screamed over and over again. And then it makes sense. Like you step back from it, you look at the lyrics and you go, yes, okay. Like, that one Fever Pitch allowed you to kind of go, oh, I wonder what it is he's talking about that like has him at breaking point, you know? Because I never mention it, and that was the point. Like, it was one that was for everyone to go, look at this guy, he's real smart. But I have tried to obviously end the story, if you know what I mean. Like, I didn't just go, and it's done, I can't be bothered writing anymore. You know? And I feel like I would like, because everything else that I like or draw influence from is kind of like start stop like that, you know? Like, like on my wall in front of me, like on my desk, I've got a portrait of Leonard Cohen, I've got a portrait of David Lynch, I've got a portrait of Francis Bacon, the artist. So I've got a writer, I've got an artist / director / writer, and I've got a painter. You know, like they all did something to me, like, in my head that made sense when I watched or looked at whatever it was that they were putting out into the world.
Yeah.
Paintings are obviously very...
Visceral.
This is what I'm looking at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But why is it like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, Francis Bacon, I love his stuff because it's so out there and it's so weird and it's very brutal, you know? Like, it's... You look at it and you're just like, oh, jeez. Like, many faces don't have, like, any real forms to them, especially male faces, which is, like, just going back to, like, trauma in his life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, came out as, like, a homosexual man, like, as at a very young age. His
Mm-hmm.
dad sent him away to, like, his, like, best friend who was, like, a, you know, by-the-book military guy to, like,
Right.
quote-unquote straighten him out.
Right.
Little did wee Frankie's dad know that his best pal was bisexual as fuck.
Oh,
Took
damn.
young Francis to Berlin and just pumped him senseless. Like, so, like, everything that happened in his life from that moment was all about trying to get out this emotion, you know, and
Yeah.
because he felt like everything was really intense, and that became his big thing. Was like he became like a real masochist, and he wasn't able to, you know, enjoy things unless he was getting battered about, you know.
Fuck. Right. Okay.
And you can really see that, like, when you look at, like, his art. Like, there's documentaries on it. There's one called Brush with Violence, which is really good. Obviously, it's very on the nose what that's all about.
Mm.
But, like, even, like, I wrote a song about Francis Bacon.
Oh, really?
That is, yeah, I don't know if I showed you the lyrics for it, but it's, like, for the album.
Right.
It's called Brushed.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of took, like, the first part of that documentary name, just said that's mine. And basically it's all about, like, him wanting to feel something. And, like, I tried to, like, talk about the colours that he used quite often in his art, and, like, I thought it was kind of cool. I just, like, that was really nice. And then David Lynch is just a fucking madman anyway, you know,
Yeah.
like, I haven't watched all of Twin Peaks. I've seen
Mhm.
a couple of his films, and I've been to one of his art exhibitions that happened in Manchester a couple of years ago.
Right.
And all of it is just like, Jesus Christ, there's something going on in your head that makes sense to you and no one else.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
needed to, like, and that's why I need to, like, delve deep into him, because he's so interesting, you know, like, the little things that I have seen really sparked something in me, you know, and I thought that was really cool. Like, this is what I mean, like, those two, stop, you know, like, the films and the TV shows that Lynch have done is open for interpretation for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But there's an ending to them, you know, because there has to be.
What else has he done? Like, I literally only know Twin Peaks. I've probably seen other films that he's done, but I just don't know it was by him.
So he did Mulholland Drive. He's done Blue Velvet. He did Dune. What else has he done? He's done Eraserhead.
I think I've seen
I think those are
Eraserhead
like-
at some point.
Yeah, I think those are, like, the big ones. Like,
Right,
there's
okay.
other things. He's done, like, a lot of, like, shorts.
Uh-huh.
I think there's one on Netflix just now called What Did Jack Do?
Right.
And it's just him talking to a monkey for, like, 15 minutes. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, what? The conversation doesn't make much sense, but it's, like, it's really good. Like,
Yeah, of course it doesn't make any sense. He's talking to a fucking monkey.
yeah, exactly. But it's cool. Like,
Monkeys can't talk.
they can in Lynch's world. He does a thing just now on YouTube where he's like, he says the date.
What, is that it?
He's like, today is June 17, and it's a beautiful day in California. Blue skies, windy. It's gonna be a good day. And that's it. And you're like, what? Why are you doing that? He's been doing it since the beginning of the, like, pandemic, like, since the beginning, because he's just like, this is just a thing that I do now to keep alive. I don't fucking know.
Could you
But he's
please?
done a-
Could you please start doing that as well? That was so entertaining just watching you do it.
It would be
was
so rubbish if
so
I did it here,
good.
though.
No, that
Right.
was so entertaining. Just like
June 17. It's raining. I'm in Glasgow. It's probably gonna rain for the rest of the day. Right, sound. Right, bye. You know, like. But I was talking to one of my clients today about it, and like apparently the reason that he does it is all to do with like his it's to do with his creative process.
Right.
So he believes that his creative process has to be scheduled.
Okay.
He's been doing it for long enough, and it's literally his entire life that he can kind of set aside like a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening where he does stuff, you know, and like just writes or creates or paints or draws or whatever, because this is his now creative moment, and this is his job now.
Yeah, of course.
Which is a good idea. I quite like the idea of that. Like I like sitting down for an hour in the morning, writing something, doing something, and then just getting on with it, you know.
Yeah.
But apparently that's why he did it. He's got like a couple of like short things on YouTube as well that don't make much sense either.
Yeah.
But it's
him doing stuff.
It's cool though. It's cool to see people doing it. Like you mentioned last time, like on the last podcast, like people would get like some sort of art from you.
Yeah.
If they like guess where the sample of that song came from, you know.
Yeah.
But like that's not a new it's a new thing for you. Like it's not a thing that you've been doing for very long, you know. It's just like doodling for the sake of doodling, you know. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Did it come from anywhere? Like, did you see something you were like, fucking right, let's do it? Like,
I used to do it quite a lot in my last job. In the last job I was in, there was a lot of times where I kind of hit a button and then waited for something to happen, because I was like building shit and doing like boring data stuff. So it's kind of like I would hit a button and then it would take like an hour for something to happen. So almost it totally and 100% came out of boredom. So I would have something. I used to work for like a retail company, and we used to have like giant like printouts of like stuff that was going in the windows and stuff, and they were like really high quality paper and stuff. But they used to have to print out loads for like testing. So they used to just kind of give them to me, because I was like pally with the marketing guys, and they used to just give me like random big wads of like paper. So I would sit for like hours and hours and hours, and just so these are bigger than what's after. I can't remember how page sizes go. I think it was about an A1, so it was pretty big. So I would sit, and it would be like almost the size of my desk on.
Oh my god!
At work, and I would just hit the button, and then for the next hour while I was waiting on something to happen, I would just sit and draw like tiny wee monsters, and just kind of like build it out the way or build it in the way. So I would start around the edges and then work my way into the middle, or I would start at the middle and I would work my way out to the edges, just as like a pastime more than anything, because I was so fucking bored. So that's kind of where it came from. It was just like, if I put my pen to this paper, what comes out? And it just happened to be like wee monsters and wee aliens and like weird wee faces and shit. And then it kind of bred from there. Like I stopped doing it for a while. Like started a new job and stuff where I didn't have hours on end to just sit and fucking doodle. And then lockdown happened. Like we all got put in a lockdown, and I like lost a lot of my creative outlet. Like I feel like I'm not the most creative guy in the world, but I definitely have like a creative part of my brain that needs to be stimulated. Like I lost a lot of that in lockdown and don't really see it coming back, so it was like, what can I do to try and fill that space? I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy a couple of like really big canvases and some fucking paint pens and just see what comes out. And then came like I mean you've got one. I think there's about 4 or 5 in my house, and they're pretty fucking big. Like they're not wee canvases of just
this one's pretty big, man.
of just like random fucking monster artwork. I mean, it's not just that. Like I have like littler ones, like littler canvases, and then just like smaller kind of like decent quality card and stuff. But it didn't really come from a place of like, you talk about like Francis Bacon, where it comes from like a place of trauma, or you come from David Lynch, where it comes from a place of like routine almost to get the creative process out. It was just like, as and when it hit me, I was just like, I need to do something. It's almost like don't know if I have like an underlying condition that's not been properly fucking looked at and properly diagnosed, but there is parts
You're
of the
like-
day where I'm just like, I need to get this out.
I think it's like you're chronically handsome, you know? Like
Nice.
that was just for you. That was
I'll
just
fuck
for
with
you.
that.
That was just for you.
I fuck with that. So yeah, I mean, I'll keep doing it for as long as it makes me joyful and happy and brings me some stupid shit. And like, it is just the most basic stuff ever. Like, anybody could fucking do it at the end of the day. It's not some crazy fucking
Yeah, but not
artwork.
everyone. But not everyone is doing it, you know. And I think that's what's important about it, is that this is your thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen similar things,
Yeah,
but it's not like
Like-
yours, you know. Like, it's absolutely not.
I'm not really caring about looking like other artists and
Of
like
course, of
look
course,
like I'm
of
stealing
course.
shit. I'm just like, I'm literally just doing it because like it does bring me quite a lot of like, it's almost a place to just kind of put the stress and the anxiety that I have held for so long. It's just somewhere to put that now, and
Yeah.
it's been nice. It has been nice. All right, there's my neighbours. My neighbours are walking past right now. You've nailed it, man.
Yeah. Loving it.
Yeah, it's
It's outside,
I
you know. Anything could happen.
I am outside. Anything can happen. I'm hoping to run into a serial killer and they'll kill me, so I don't have to do the entire rest of this podcast.
That's only 15 minutes. Fucking chill out.
No, I will keep doing I will keep drawing little stupid things for as long as I can, as long as it's still bringing me some kind of joy. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely filled a wee stupid place in my brain, and like, I just think they're fun to look at as well. It's like I think that's like the dumbest thing for me. It's just like, I look at them, I'm just like, oh, I like the colours and that. That's really cute.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
but they are fun. Like, that's when like you were posting some of them on like your Instagram story, and I was like,
Yeah.
you need to make a page for this, because like
Mhm.
I think people would look at it and just go, oh, that's really like, it's bright colours. It's almost like childlike, you know, like it's fun
Yeah.
to look at. Like, it's a little bit of you, and like, because you are all of those monsters, like 100%. You know, like you're sat there wearing fucking cat eye sunglasses. You got a bright yellow hat on. And what kind of trousers you wearing? Are they like bright pink or something?
No, I'm wearing olive green trousers.
Yeah, olive green. You know, like you can just be wearing like black. You know, like you are that guy. You've always been so animated and colourful that like these little monsters are the little bits of you that you like. You need to go somewhere. So
oh
here
my
you
god,
go.
man.
You know.
You're going real deep into my brain right now.
But but I know you're saying like it's not like a deep thing, but it is, you know, like that's why we have that spark, you know, like everyone has that little kind of thing inside them that either like niggles away or like makes them feel uncomfortable, and a lot of people do turn it into like paintings, arts, drawings, whatever it is you want to call it, you know, like I said arts, by the way, as if arts was a was a noun. It is a
It was
noun.
a category.
It's a category, yeah.
I have no
Like-
idea. It's a category.
Like for me, I write things down, you know.
Yeah.
Any words that or any feelings that I feel, I try to like make that a thing. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't have to now think about that because there's a verse done.
Yeah.
You know, and whether
Yeah.
it's a song, whether it's some sort of poetry or like some piece of like informal writing that I've done, you know, it just
Mhm.
gets it out of me, puts it on there, don't have to think about it, can look at it if I want to.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with all of these like with all these like little drawings that you do, and they can be so much oh, excuse me, they can be so much bigger if you wanted them to be, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not saying rip them off, but like you could straight up rip off like Terry Urban or something, and you could paste them onto like a bigger thing. You could make like little stamps out of them, and you can put them all around the place. I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna start messaging you all these things. We'll copyright them, we'll make loads of money. But like these little things that you're putting on the page are
Mhm.
there for a reason other than, oh, it's just fun to do, you know.
Yeah.
Because like you're saying, like they're like, it was almost born of boredom and anxiety. You
Mhm.
know, this is it coming out of you now, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh my god, man. I'd honestly never thought about it like that. I was just
Of
like,
course you haven't. That's
it's
why you
just-
have me, because I'm the overthinker of the group. You know, like I can't just have a normal
you can't even
thought.
you
I
can't
just-
even say group. Like, I have one friend and it's you. We're not we're not a group. You're the overthinker of my one friend.
Yes, well that's true. I'm a lot of things if you're one friend. But like, I can't just have that normal thought. That's my reason for doing things, like
Yeah.
for writing stuff out. Because if I don't write stuff out, that happens.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
just like go, oh, that one little thing you mentioned one time. Let's look into that.
Listen, like,
That's just
dig
how it-
as deep as possible into that
Yeah,
one thing you
'Cause
said.
for you it wasn't. You know, like there's been a lot of things in the past that I've come to you about and I've spoke to you about,
Mm-hmm.
and I've spoke to you in depth about it.
Mm-hmm.
And like told you how it was making me feel, and you went, yeah, but it's not that. And like that instantly made me feel better. You know, because I know that in my head I've gone through every scenario, every
Yeah.
worst case scenario
Yeah.
there is. I've
Yeah.
went to it several times and I've
Mhm.
found worse ones. You know, like it's like your brain just doesn't have that part of it that goes, oh, there's lots going on here.
Yeah.
You know, you were like, oh, it's just like a wee childish fucking like drawing thing that I do like to pass the time. I'm like, but it's not. Like, you did it because of these reasons. I don't know. I wish my brain didn't do that sometimes, but here we are.
But you are also the person that will, like, I think we have actually found a very nice place in our lives for each other where we are genuinely keeping each other grounded because
Oh,
of
100%.
because of how fucking different we are, but at the same time very similar. Because, like, we will both go about things very differently. We would both do things very differently. We both live very different lives.
Absolutely.
We have found, like, the beautiful, lovely lake in the middle of all the chaos in the middle. Just the beautiful hot springs in the middle of the absolute chaos. And that is where our friendship sits.
That's it. It's sink or swim, baby, you know? Like, we got to keep each other afloat.
We are. That's what it is. You're like, I will be the long ass foam float that you get. You know those crazy, like, things that look like they
You're
should
the
be
pool
outside?
noodle.
I'm the pool noodle. And what would you be? Would you be like the little saucer? You know, like the fucking, like, mini surfboard that you get?
Aye, I'd
We'll
probably be
go
one of them.
go mini surfboard and I'll be the noodle.
Short and wide. That's me. Like,
Short, wide, and two colours. Because you got that white skin, you got a pink ass dick, bro. Yeah, I got him. I fucking got him. Yeah.
got him.
Man, I am fucking absolutely 100% doing this podcast outdoors again. This has been so much fun. Like, so many people have walked past just being like, the fuck is that guy doing?
We should make it a thing. We should do one together outside.
100%. 100%. I mean, not here, because here isn't ideal. Like, I am literally just sitting at the end of the lane on a lake. Not even a lake, a stream of water. So,
Is it not called the White Cart River? Is that not what that is?
it's a bit racist.
No, it's not. That's what it's called.
I actually don't know. I live here. Like, I am 3 streets away and I don't know what this is called.
I'm pretty sure it is because, like, the street next to it's Cartside, isn't it?
That is correct.
Yeah, so White Cart is the river. Because then if you go, like, through Newlands, there's
Uh-huh.
a chippy called the White Cart Chippy. And I believe the White Cart is the river.
Wow. You tend to know a lot more about me. A lot more about me? I've had too many beers. A lot more than me, which is safe to say about everything we talk about in this podcast, because I definitely don't have a clue.
I just have little bits of knowledge just packed away. Good in a pub quiz. You know? None of it is actually useful. Like, that did nothing for your life. You're still going to call it that little bit of water at the end of my street.
Yep. And I'll walk it all the time, and it'll still just be a wee bit of water.
Just a wee bit of water.
Man, this has been a very fun podcast. I have enjoyed this very much.
It was a nice episode.
Even though I spilled my beer literally 30 seconds into the podcast. Like, I was Stone Cold Steve Austin in here right away.
I kind of wish you'd actually Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I can't even. I have half a beer left. I can't do it.
Ah.
I'm not doing it anyway.
It'd been a good ending.
I can't.
It'd been a good ending. Well, you ruined it from the start and you ruined it right at the end also. So I feel like this is a good place to start wrapping up.
It's come full circle.
Yeah, well, you know, if you like it, tell us. Don't tell us. Tell your friends. Tell other people.
Definitely
Share.
tell other people.
Tell other people,
please.
Most importantly. But you know, all the usual stuff. Subscribe and follow and like and share and tag us and fucking PayPal me 10 quid. Go on. Go on.
Yes, you are correct. We absolutely love and thank every single person for listening to this, because I don't understand why you do, but it's still sick that you do, so that's really cool. We have done, I mean, as of this point when we're recording, Gary has updated the playlist, but I haven't, but I will at some point, so there will be more songs on the playlist as well.
You usually tell people what's on there, and I quite like that part. That's why I try to get it in early, so you could like just kind of update it.
Fill us in on what you've put in there, and then I will go ahead and say 2 songs that I'm going to add. I've not done yet, but I will add.
I've put some Boyne on there.
Nice.
I put some Blur. Got some Metallica. I got my boy Bruno Mars.
What is going on with these choices?
And I got this like singer-songwriter called Fen Lily. She got a great song called Hypochondriac. It is perfect. Key change. We live for the key change at the end.
We live for the key change. We fucking love a key change. We love a key change. Honestly.
Before we go, best key change of all time. Go.
I'm not going to get it. Because mine is
a Doors. No, I'm asking you what you think it is.
There is a Doors song that has a key change, and I can't remember it. It's not coming in my head right now. But there is a Doors song that has a key change that is fucking beautiful. And I can't remember the name of the song.
See, mine's is really shitty because it's just The Crimson by Atreyu, but it doesn't matter.
Why is that not on the playlist? Right, okay, let's go for mine. The Crimson by Atreyu. I will add it. What else could I add? The other one that I'm definitely going to add is Shockwave by Black Tide, because I want to see that guy's dick. And then the other one that I am definitely going to add. What was the one I was listening to today? Oh, you've already added a Danny Brown song, haven't you?
Yeah, but you can add another one. That's alright.
Right, okay. I might throw in another one, because it was when I was listening to today, I was like, I forgot how much this fucking bangs. So I'm going to throw in another Danny Brown song. So that's 3. We've got The Crimson by Atreyu, Black Tide, Shockwave, and then Dirty Laundry by Danny Brown. They will also be in the playlist when I get around to it.
Nice. Okay, well, that's us, I guess.
That's us.
Bye then.
Guess.
That's us, I guess. That's it. I'm stopping recording. Bye. Love you.